I think that what Trump should do, like if I was giving him one piece of advice, fire every single mid-level bureaucrat, every civil servant in the administrative state, replace them with our people. And when the courts, because you will get taken to court, and when the courts stop you, stand before the country like Andrew Jackson did and say the Chief Justice has made his ruling, now let him enforce it.
It's hard to imagine a man more loathsome than Donald Trump. I mean, I could do this entire video and a dozen more on his moral shortcomings, his obscene words and actions against women, African Americans, Muslims, veterans, LGBT, and the disabled. When it comes to being a human shithole, the dude is a Renaissance man. He does it all.
It's a witch hunt. It's a hoax.
So when it came time to find a VP, Trump, not surprisingly, had a long list of Republicans who were on the record despising him, then at the last minute did a 180, pursed their lips to his rotund dotard sphincter and said, me, me, me. But one stood out.
I can't stomach Trump. I think that he's noxious and is leading the white working class to a very dark place.
Donald Trump not only lost the 2020 election and tried to overturn the results, he also faced a series of legal judgments and indictments. Would you have certified the election results had you been vice president?
If I had been vice president, I would have told the states like Pennsylvania, Georgia, and so many others that we needed to have multiple slates of electors, and I think the U.S. Congress should have fought over it from there.
That's J.D. Vance, who at one point appeared to be just another hack author, until Trump World opened the door to his political and personal death spiral. We'll get to that, but first, Trump's disastrous appearance at the National Association of Black Journalists had many low racist moments for Tiny Fingers.
She was always of Indian heritage, and she was only promoting Indian heritage. I didn't know she was black until a number of years ago when she happened to turn black, and now she wants to be known as black. So I don't know, is she Indian or is she black?
She has always identified as a black woman. She went to a historically black college.
I respect either one, but she obviously doesn't. My message is to stop people from invading our country that are taking, frankly, a lot of problems with it. But one of the big problems, and a lot of the journalists in this room I know and I have great respect for, a lot of the journalists in this room are black. I will tell you that coming from the border are millions and millions of people that happen to be taking black jobs. You had the best.
What exactly is a black job, sir?
A black job is anybody that has a job. That's what it is. Anybody that has a job.
All right. But Vance should have paid particular attention to this moment.
We can move on now to the state of the race, sir. I want to get back to the campaign. Senator J.D. Vance is your running mate. He's had a lot of controversy lately, and I want to read you a few things that he has said in the past. He said the Democrats running the country are a bunch of childless cat ladies who are miserable at their own lives and the choices they've made. And so they want to make the rest of the country miserable too. He's not talking here about how great it is to be a parent. He's attacking what he says are the choices people are making to not have children. Did you know that he had these views about people who do not have children before you picked him to be your running mate? And do you agree with him?
No.
Diaper Don has a long history of throwing anyone and everyone under the bus.
What did he ask you? What did he say to you when he came on the line?
I picked up the phone and the president asked me where I was on the electoral count that would take place that day. And I told him, despite what you issued last night from your campaign, Mr. President, you know, I've been very clear that I don't have the authority to reject votes.
Mike Pence is going to have to come through for us.
I'm telling you what, I'm hearing the Pence. I'm hearing the Pence just caved.
No.
Is that true?
I didn't.
I'm hearing reports that Pence caved.
No
I'm
way.
telling you, if Pence caved, we're going to drag through the streets.
The question is, who is the real J.D. Vance? Trick question. There's only one. This guy.
Pete Buttigieg, AOC, the entire future of the Democrats is controlled by people without children. It's just a basic fact. You look at Kamala Harris, Pete Buttigieg, AOC, the entire future of the Democrats is controlled by people without children. And how does it make any sense that we've turned our country over to people who don't really have a direct stake in it? We're effectively run in this country via the Democrats, via our corporate oligarchs, by a bunch of childless cat ladies who are miserable at their own lives and the choices that they've made, and so they want to make the rest of the country miserable too.
But that's not all. If you've been paying attention to the Olympics, you might have noticed how Simone Biles is lighting the world on fire. But back in Japan during the Tokyo 2020 Olympics, Simone withdrew from multiple events to prioritize her mental health and safety. She'd experienced the twisties, making it unsafe for her to compete. And the world rallied around her, praising her candor and approach to the mental and physical dangers of competitive gymnastics. I mean, she's a wonderful person and a sweet, sweet young woman. But that's not what J.D. Vance had to say.
Did she let down the country, do you think?
Sure. What I find so weird about this is that we've tried to turn a very tragic moment, Simone Biles quitting the Olympic team, into this act of heroism. And I think it reflects pretty poorly on our sort of therapeutic society that we try to praise people not for moments of strength, not for moments of heroism, but for their weakest moments. And look, being an athlete is tough. Being an athlete at that level is incredibly tough. A normal response in this moment would be to say, it's just a shame that she's going through this. It's a shame that she quit. But instead, what our press has done, I think, is turn this into this weird therapeutic moment. Let's praise her for doing this. And I think that's really where the problem here lies.
What the is wrong with this guy? How much time you got? One thing Vance did prove, though, he is a true Trump suck-up.
Worried are you that there could be violence emerging from all of this by Trump supporters?
Oh, not at all. Donald Trump's supporters are not violent.
Fuck these Democrats! That's the kind of lies everyone knows aren't true. Forget January 6th. Trump has been encouraging violence since day one, and yet it's obvious the entire Republican Party sees the danger Vance brings to the ticket.
A vote for Trump or Vance, how do you like?
Which is actually comical to say out loud, that someone can match Trump's sick sociopathy. But JD's giving it a run for his money because Americans are sick of these personal attacks. Vance got it going with his sexist attack
by a bunch of childless cat ladies.
Then Trump went racist.
I didn't know she was black until a number of years ago when she happened to turn black.
But neither one resonates with the independent voters who are now poised to follow Harris into November. Listen to Vance attack Harris's loyalty.
Kamala Harris questioned my loyalty to this country. That's the word she used, loyalty. And it's an interesting word, simplify, loyalty, because there is no greater sign of disloyalty to this country than what Kamala Harris has done at our southern border.
Well, JD, that's not going to work out well. The southern border you refer to, Biden-Harris had a plan. A bill that addressed everything the GOP wanted. End catch and release. Hold asylum seekers in custody till their cases have been adjudicated. And then when encounters at the border reach 5,000 in one day, shut the border down. This was a bill that was written by Senator James Lankford, a conservative. But Trump and Speaker Johnson spiked it. Why? Trump wanted to campaign on this, so they killed the bill that would have helped the border. Oh, and you don't believe me? Well, let's hear from the conservative who wrote the bill and Fox News.
I know you're not trying to zing your colleagues, but it's your colleagues in your party, sir, who torpedoed this, who didn't get the facts right on what you just outlined was in that measure. They killed it. Ironically, not Democrats.
Right. It was, and it was painful to be able to watch it.
Wow, JD, that kind of puts a hole in your boat, you hillbilly cockwaffle. You and Fat Donnie canvass America with that lie, even when you know it's not true. Doesn't that Semper Fi have something to do with honor, integrity, and truth?
What has she done to question my loyalty to this country? I served in the United States Marine Corps. I went to Iraq for this country. I built a business for this country. And my running mate took a bullet for this country. So my question to Kamala Harris is, what the hell have you done to question our loyalty to the United States of America?
Dude, are you high? You've embraced a man facing 60 more indictments for trying to overthrow an election and having stolen top secret documents, then refusing to give them back to the FBI. And you went to Iraq. Did Marines die there? How do you feel about Trump calling them suckers and losers? Anyone with half a brain can see that Vance is a traitor to our country, and his attacks on women defile the Marine Corps code. J.D. Vance is a power-hungry yet amazingly weak man who wouldn't even defend his wife after baby Trump here said this about her.
J.D. Vance also has a non-white wife, an Indian wife, and a kid named Vivek. All his kids have Indian names. So it's like, what exactly are we getting here? And that's not a dig at him just because I'm a racist or something. But it's like, who is this guy really? Do we really expect that the guy who has an Indian wife and named their kid Vivek is going to support white identity?
There is some truth that the VP doesn't help a ticket, but a horrible one can definitely hurt. And JD, that sounds a lot like you.
I'm ready, let's go.
Damn right. Trust me.
Shut the f*** up, Dan.
Who's with me?
Oh, yeah, the lie.
Indictable.
Out of sheer morbid curiosity, I'm allowing this freak show to continue.
This isn't their Republican Party anymore.
I don't want to talk about this stuff.
Am I wrong?
Damn right.
You're in a lot of trouble, Donnie.
I think he's crazy.
I'm Chip Franklin.